Hi everyone, it's Holly. Welcome back to my channel, Smile by Holly. It's great to have you here, and today we are going to be making a darling little mini album. This turns out so cute. Let me just show you what the end result is. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you'll want to do is just take 8.5 by 11-inch cardstock. This works just perfect. And decide on what color you want your base. You know, you could do white, blue, black, red. I'm going to be using this really pretty navy that I just picked up from Michael's this week. So take your 8.5 by 11-inch cardstock, and the first piece that you'll want to do is cut it at 9 by 7. Now I have cut some of my pieces already to save time, but I will be doing some of this as we go. So the first one is 9 by 7. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and set that aside. Bring in your second piece of cardstock. This one is going to be cut at 9 by 7 3/4. And then our last piece of cardstock is going to be 9 by just a smidgen less than 4. Just a tiny bit less than 4 inches. Okay, now we'll set those aside. Those are our 3 bases. Okay, let's go ahead and set the paper cutter aside. And let's bring in our 3 papers we just cut. I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and on this short one we want to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So 1/2 inch, and this is on the short side, okay? 1/2 inch and 1 inch. This is going to be our flip over flap that just kind of ties it all together. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Now our page that is 9 by 7, we don't need to do anything with, but our bigger page that was 9 by 7 3/4, we are also going to want to score at 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and this is on the 7 3/4 side. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Okay, so we'll set our scoreboard aside. Let's go ahead and attach our base. So I'm just going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to crease where we made those score lines. I just love making mini albums. I just think they turn out so cute and so different. Sometimes I start out with kind of an idea in mind, and when I finish up, the book is completely different. Alrighty, so let's take our bigger piece. Right here, we are just going to add either some wet glue or some adhesive, and I'm just going to use my Tombow adhesive today. Now this is the base of your book, so don't skimp on adhesive. You want it to hold together really well. And then one trick is, I'm just going to bring my scoreboard in. To get these on straight, if you have your scoreboard and you put your paper right up against the edge, you can bring in your second paper, line it up right against the edge, and it lines it up just perfectly right there, okay? Now we have our smaller piece, and we're going to flip our paper over. This side that was just the 9 by 7 side, we are going to add our little tiny flap here. So just add a little bit of adhesive right here on the tab. And I'm once again going to use my scoreboard. I'm going to just butt that right up against the edge of the scoreboard, and then it helps me to line up my paper here. Okay, that's great. I can move my scoreboard out of the way. So this makes our nice little base for our mini album. And see, this is just the page that flips up and over. Okay, look how pretty that navy is. Let's go ahead and build our pages. So we'll set that aside. Now, I did cut my pages for this so it would save time. So what you will want is you will want 4 pieces that are 7 by 4.5. Okay, 7 by 4.5, 4 pieces. And I'm going to bring my scoreboard in, and on the long side we are going to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay. Just going to fold and burnish that. And the way that this album works is there's going to be one page, and then this page is going to sit on the top. And so I'm just trying to make it so that I've got my words going the right way. So yeah, so I will want to score this at 1/2 inch. And this will make a little bit more sense as I go to put it together. Okay, so we've got 2 other pieces here. We're just going to score those at 1/2 inch. Now, if your paper doesn't have a definite upside down design, do you know what I mean? So like if this was backwards, it wouldn't work. But if your paper doesn't have that, you don't need to be aware of that. But in case it does, kind of think this through, because the album I made before this did not work. Okay, so we have our 4 pages scored at 1/2 inch. Okay, now we are going to make 8 more pages. Now these pages are 6.5 by 5 1/4, and this is going to make our cute little waterfall, the pages in our waterfall. So once again, I've already cut these and I have scored them. So 6.5 by 5 1/4 scored at 1/2 inch. And voila, those are done. So let's go ahead and start putting our book together. I've got this cute embossed paper. This is actually by Embossable Designs. However, this paper is probably 6 or 7 years old. I found it in my stash and I thought it was so cute, and I wondered why I had waited so long to use this. But we're just going to add that onto the front of our cover. I definitely hoard paper though, so it's not unusual for me to, out of the blue, find a piece of paper and go, why have I not used that before? I think sometimes I like to, I don't know, how would you say, save my paper? Okay, so that is going to be cute. Now this base right here is measuring at 6.5 by 8 3/4. So 6.5 by 8 3/4. Now we are going to add our little piece here on the flap, and this is 2.5 by 8.5. It's just slightly smaller, so we have that cute blue border. Okay, yeah, that's gonna look really cute. Okay, let's open up our book and let's get an inside cover down. I think I'll put that one there. So the first page, we are just going to line it up on the edge over here. And then we'll take our second piece of paper, and that's going to go on top and flip open like that. And we're just going to put that on the edge of this paper. Super, super simple. As long as you can get it lined up right. Okay, so that flips open and shut and then open. So cute. Alrighty, let's do our other two pages. Now this one, instead of going over to this side, we are going to put it on this side, okay? I'm gonna just flip my album so I can get it lined up good. And then we'll take our second page, and this will line up right here on this one, okay? Just kind of opposite, if you can kind of think of it that way. So once again, I've got 8 of these, and I'm just going to kind of do them, you know, alternate the colors. So I think we'll start out with this red one. I'm gonna flip my album upside down. It's gonna be a little bit easier for me to work with this way. I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive onto my tab right here, and I'm going to put it right up here in the middle on top of my paper. Okay, then we'll flip that open, and we're going to line the next one up right here at the bottom, okay? So let's do a blue one. Just butt it right up against the edge of that other one. Okay, so there's our album. We've got this that flips up and opens up. This one that flips this way and then opens up. And then our cute little 8-page waterfall. What we'll want to do is you want to take a piece of paper that is 7.5 by 1.5. So 7.5 by 1.5. We want to score it at 6.5 and 6 3/4. Okay, we'll just fold that over. And then this is going to be a little tab that holds our waterfall down. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here. And then I'm just going to eyeball this and try to get it lined up even. Okay, that looks good. It's turning out so adorable though. And while we're here, I think I'll just add my strip of red. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit of glue on here and a little bit of glue on the other side. And we'll let that hold for a little bit, get it nice and good and dry. Now, I should have actually put my magnet on underneath the paper. So I'm sorry if you're making this with me and I've messed you up. But it will work. This will be just fine. Just gonna hold that for a little bit, let the glue get nice and gluey. Is that a word? Nice and gluey. Okay, so you've got your cute magnetic closure, and then you've got your pages right here that flip out and back. And then this one flips out and back this way. And then we've got our magnetic closure right here that holds our waterfall pages. Oh, I just love waterfall embellishments too. It's be so cute filled with photos or even some fun journaling. That snaps shut and that snaps closed. So just a darling little fun, fast mini album. So thank you so much for joining today. You know, if you got some value out of the video, give me a big thumbs up. I would also love to have you subscribe to my channel. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.